Welcome everyone. It's Renee. I hope you're having a great day. So today we're going to be in our Bibles and we're going to be in Colossians. So I saw Diane Noble do a live page using a torn paper technique, and I haven't used that technique in a while. So I saw it and I was like, yeah, I would love to try that again. So I am imitating her page. Thank you, Diane, for the inspiration. I love when other people can inspire me because lately I really haven't had much many creative juices flowing. I guess sometimes I do. It usually hits me at like 2:00 in the morning. But when I see a page that like kind of stirs something in me, I want to kind of imitate it and do it and pass it on to y'all. And so I'm going to show you how I do my page. I'm going to do things a little bit differently than she did, but again, taking some of the same techniques. So she was in Colossians 3, put on the new self. I love how this says it. Verses 1, if then you've been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. For you have died and your life is hidden with Christ in God. I love that. Our lives are hidden with him. Like it can't be taken away, right? We have eternal life with him. When Christ, who is your life, appears, I love that. Christ is our life. Then you will also appear with him in glory. And again, y'all know, people who've been following me, my mom passed away this year. I've had a lot of friends whose loved ones have passed away this year, as well as other years, but it's been a tough year for a lot of people. And I've been watching a couple shows on life after death and just different things like that. And I know everyone's got their own opinion on that. And, I'm trying to stick with what the Bible says on that. But I really do think that sometimes people here on earth can get a glimpse of what it is like in heaven. Like we get visions, we get impressions, dreams, whatever it may be. And a lot of times they're spot on, y'all, spot on. And so I've been really thinking about this life after death thing. And, we've talked about it in one of our previous pages on the Ecclesiastes page about how time is going by so fast. And I feel like I wanted to leave like a legacy here on earth. And what am I going to be leaving behind? And just kind of, thinking through all those like deep philosophical questions. And so this kind of plays into that as well. So I am thankful for Diane for bringing that up. And the image she put on her page was of a flower. And again, that brings me back to the Ecclesiastes page that we did about how I was saying how our lives are like just a wisp of smoke, like we're here and we're gone. It's so quick as well. And the Bible even mentions that, as well as how human lives are so fragile and precious, but they're very fragile. And it's like, the grass and the flowers, how they're here one day and then they wither and they're gone away the next. And so it was fitting that she did a flower. And so I'm kind of been in this like whole mental state lately of, talking through all this stuff with myself and like doing a lot of introspection on that. And so that page really touched me. So that's why I'm doing it, y'all. So what I did is I grabbed a couple acrylic paints that I have. This one's a lemon lime and this is a blue, crisp blue. And I just put it here on this little palette. And I have a little, my little crappy card here that I use for a lot of things. And so I am going to kind of go in here, just have it on my card like so. And we're going to just kind of go in and make a background, y'all. Just fun. This is the time to get messy. Have fun with it. This is just another way you can get color on your page. Now, if you don't want to do it this way, grab a brush, use your fingers. You can finger paint if you really want to get messy, which I think would be fun as well. I might even go in with my fingers in a bit. Who knows? I'll ruin my my nail polish up some more. Might as well. I'm gonna have to redo it again anyways. But I love this, and just like kind of brush it all the way off the page if I can. There we go. Trying to get it. Let's put some up here. And again, when you do it like this, you are going to get a variety of different effects some down the side here. And images. Now, if you want to just do a watercolor wash over this whole thing, you can do that. Let's see. I think I'm gonna... I don't know. I think I'm trying to cover most of the page with this color, I think. And I'm gonna do some on this side again, just to kind of carry over the look. There we go. That's what I was trying to do over there. Did it over here. That's okay. Just a little bit. Okay, let me grab a paper towel. I'm gonna wipe this off. I'm going to actually dry this real quick. It's such a thin swipe that it should dry very quickly. There's not a lot of paint on here. I did gesso my page just because I wasn't sure how it would, if it would go through or not, and it didn't because I gessoed the page. I, prepped my page. Now I'm going to go in with this green, this lime green that I have right here. Ooh, that was a big clump. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's really cool. Wasn't expecting that. I thought I was expecting the green to kind of really cover the blue, but I love how it's letting the blue shine through there. Oh, I love that effect. That was a complete surprise to me. I thought it would be a little bit more opaque than that. So I'm really liking that. That is cool. You just got to kind of do things and just kind of see what happens, Sometimes you get pleasantly surprised. Ooh, that's a lot. Let me... Okay. And then let's do a little bit on this side. I don't like that little edge right there. I want it to... I don't like having straight edges when I don't want them. And it's very little paint that I'm using. I put more on my palette than I really needed. I wasn't sure. There we go. Oh, I like that. Okay. I think that'll be it. I think that'll be it for that. Okay, so let me put this to the side. Well, actually, you know what? I might need that for the gesso. Hang on a second. Okay, let's dry this real quick. Now this is a little brighter than I was expecting. I wanted a little bit more muted. So what I think I'm gonna do is go in with some white gesso and kind of push this to the back a little bit. It's just a little darker than I anticipated. So what I'm gonna do, take my white gesso here put some on my palette. I'm going to take my palette knife here. Now you can take a palette knife, or you can take, I'm debating. Let's try it with the card. I'm going to take the card and put it in my white gesso now. See, white gesso on my card. Oh yeah. I'm going to kind of go through and just push this to the back just a tad. Now again, if you don't have a card, use a palette knife, use your fingers, finger paint, have fun with it. This is a good way sometimes to get your aggressions out. Start scraping. Oh, I like that. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of goofing right now, seeing what I do like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna come over here, do the same thing. And see, just by putting a little bit of white down, oops, you know what? I don't want that much on the, so I'm gonna rub that off because I want to see my words right there. See? So if you make, you know, not a mistake, but if it gets a little too heavy-handed for you, just go in and wipe it off. Then what you can see your words. There we go. And that way it like kind of pushes that bright color, you know, mutes it a little bit. And you have some texture on your paper with the different layers, depending on how thick it was. Like right here, I have some thicker pieces. I like that. I want to keep that there. Now, actually, I'm thinking I'm going to take this blue and mix it in here with this white gesso. Now I'm going to have this lighter blue, and I think I'm going to go over a lot of this with this lighter blue as well. Let's test it on this side. Oh yeah, I like that. Again, I'm getting a little bit more clumpy because I'm doing it with the palette knife, and I'm just lightly touching it, but I wanted a little bit more texture. That's kind of why I'm doing this. And I really want to push this really bright colors more towards the back. Just have them kind of peeking through a little bit. So I'm going to put a little bit more of this lighter blue on here. So again, lots and lots of layers. And if this turns out like you're like, oh, I really hate it, or I don't like what's happening or whatever, go in, paint over the whole thing with white, and start over. No biggie. You know, just, you'll never know what was back there if you want to go back in and, you know, go over and start all over. So you can really work these pages and you know, put a lot of layers on, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Ooh, I do like that. I love the different, I love the layering. Okay, so let's take that off and dry that. Just quickly, I'm going to quickly start the drying process, and then we'll put it to the side, and we'll start our tearing. This is thicker, so I do need to dry it a little. Okay, well, while that's drying, we're gonna put this to the side a little bit, and we'll work on the tearing of our images. Okay, so okay, so what Diane did is she had some hymnal, or, you know, a hymnal, and she grabbed some pages out of the hymnals, and this one was called I'll Live for Him, and I love that title, so I pulled, you know, tore that out. And then she tore, and this one says, Rejoice the Lord is King. I love that as well. And actually, I might just, let's in case we might want to use this, I'm going to pull this one out too. Just tear these. So all this is tearing. You don't even need scissors. Use your, it says, Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say again, rejoice. And that's Philippians, but, you know, you don't always have to be in the exact, you know, the exact scripture that it says. Okay, so let's see. We're going to tear petals out of these. So the flower kind of looks like a little sunflower. So it's going to have like a little circle center. And I had this little scrap paper. This is a great way to use up old scrap paper that you have. I always save my scrap paper. And actually, I'm just going to grab like a little piece here. And I'm going to tear a circle, or like a oval, not even a circle, an oval out. That's going to be the center of the flower. And I love the way this looks. It kind of looks like the sunflower seeds, or, you know. So that'll be like the center of the flower. And then petals. She tore like little petal pieces out of the hymns, the music paper. Like, doesn't that look like a little petal piece? Like just little, so like little like arches, I guess. Or half moons, or not even half moons, but like little crescent moons or whatever. So you got these little petals coming out. Big ones, little ones, you know, do a variety. I'm just kind of goofing right now. We'll figure it out. Have some coming this way. Coming down, maybe. Have some little ones. Oops. Let's do another little one. That's not looking like a flower, is it? Not yet. Let's see here. Maybe something kind of like this. And you can fiddle around with them and kind of, that's a little too long. See what works, see what doesn't. You can re-tear it. I don't know, just something. Maybe we'll flip that one over and kind of go like that. be easier if I glued this down. I'm just trying to see if it'll, oh, something like this. Something like that. I don't know. Let's do a couple more and we'll see which ones work better. Maybe a little petal like this. So we have a bunch of petals here. Okay. We'll keep that just in case we need more. And then we need the stem. So I had this scrap paper. I just like the imagery here. The little pattern. Kind of looks like, I don't know. I just like the shading of this paper. So I'm going to make a long stem down the middle here. So we could always shorten it if we need to. There's the stem. And then we need some leaves off it. So we'll have it kind of come up this way and kind of curl over to a point. Just think, you know, what like a leaf would look like coming out the side. You know, maybe something like that. We'll see. And let's do another one. Let's go like this. Come up and around. Maybe come down into like a pointier part. Maybe something like that. And actually, I'm thinking this one might be a better, I don't know, we'll see. Could have like a little mini leaf kind of coming up from the bottom. Okay, I didn't like that. That one tore too much. Let's try this. Yeah, that one looks a little bit better. Maybe. Okay. Okay. So we got our torn paper and we've got this. And so I'm going to put all of this, I'm going to push that over. Okay, let's bring this back. Okay, let's finish drying this. Let's see couple little wet pieces here. So we're gonna finish drying this. And then I wanted to do some stenciling in the back. So I put a little box under here to kind of lift this part because we're in the back of the Bible. We only have about that much of the book, so this would be hanging down. So this box helps prop it up. It's one of my Your Creative Studio boxes. It's perfect height to keep this all even. When you put the heat on your gesso for a long time, it will start bubbling up if you leave the heat on it. And I kind of like that, so I do that every once in a while because I like those little bubble effects. It gives you some more texture on your page. You can see it's starting to bubble up. See that? Now, if you don't like that, then just keep your heat moving. But I kind of like that. I like having those little bubble effects. Just gives you some more texture to play with. Okay, it's still a tad wet, y'all, and I can't do my stenciling until this is dry, so just bear with me here. Okay, we'll let that dry a little bit more. So while that is drying, I am going to take all my little pieces. So I have black soot. Here, let me move this again. Just off camera. Okay, we have this black soot distress ink. I'm going to take all these. Okay, did I lose half my stuff? Okay, I'm going to go through, and now I'm going to just ink the edges because I'll make this pop from the page. So in the meantime, our texture paste over here is drying some more. So you can kind of do double duty, you know, multitask and do a few things at once. So while one thing's drying, you could be working on another. I kind of have to do that on camera. Now, if you're at home doing it on your own, you can, you know, take as long as you want, but I don't want y'all sitting here watching paint dry on camera. That would be so boring. So boring. Now, if you don't have black soot, you can use brown, any kind of brown ink. If you don't have any ink at all, no worries. You can even color the edges with crayons, with a marker. Oops. Just want to get the edges, and I got the middle of that one. Anytime you ink up edges of paper, it always makes the page pop, or the paper pop. I mean, if you can see. Now, if you want it to blend into the back, then you wouldn't do this. Okay, that's gonna be one of our titles. I'll Live for Him is gonna be another one of our titles. I mean, not really a title, just a little phrase that's gonna be on the page. Now, a lot of have asked if these distress inks are worth it. They are a little bit pricier, but I mean, not really. I think you can get them for $5.99 at like a local craft shop, or even on Amazon, I think. And sometimes, like if you go to Hobby Lobby, they'll have sales, or you get a coupon or what have you. And you can slowly, I mean, there's so many colors, so you can literally spend a ton of money on these inks, but they're very versatile. I love them. I love the way they react with water. I remember when they first came out, I was like, what are those? You know, and I saw people using them. I was like, I have other inks. I don't really need those. But now, y'all, I think these are the only ones I do use. Well, every once in a while, I'll go back to some of my other ink pads, but especially when I want it not to react with water. I mean, like if you want a permanent ink, you got to get different inks because these will react with water, but they're just so cool. You can get so many cool effects with them. Oh wait, I thought I was missing. Let's try this. So yeah, I think they're worth it because I use them a lot. But again, you know, figure out what it is how you want to use it, and if you think you'll use it on a regular basis. If so, then definitely, you know, you can collect one or two at a time, or a birthday or holiday or something. You can treat yourself to, you know, a couple ink pads, and you don't need to get all the colors. You can get a few of them and just work your way up, and little by little, before you know it, you'll accumulate a lot more than you think you could in a short amount of time, for sure. Okay, so I have these stencils. I got these. These were Bible journaling stencils. I'm not sure. I got them on clearance, $2.49. Comes with 6 different stencils. This is what it looks like. So you get a cross, this one, this one, this one. This is the one I'm going to be using. Praise the Lord and prayer to the Lord. So this one is based on 1 Corinthians 16. Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, and be strong. And actually, I'm going to put it here I'm going to grab my texture paste, my light and fluffy texture paste, and I'm going to grab my palette knife. This is the stuff that looks like marshmallows. I love it. I think that's getting a little hard. I'm going to do this one. Okay. I don't know if I need that much. Just a little bit on my palette knife, and I'm going to see how this works. I don't care if it's like super clear. I want it to kind of be in the background. But I'm going to take this texture paste. And we are going to hopefully get this in the background here. And we'll see how it all shows up with this crazy background that we have here. Now, I am not going to do the verse. I'm just doing the words here. So I'm trying to make sure I don't hit the verse, because I'm not using this verse in this. We're in a different verse. Does that make sense? We're in Colossians, not Corinthians. But just that doesn't mean you can't use the same You can't use the same phrases and things. Okay, let me see. Oh, it goes right here. There's the G for strong right here. Okay. I want to make sure. Okay, let's see how it looks. Love it. Love it. Oh, look at that. Look how that turned out. Oof, love it. Way better than I thought. Okay, anytime you use texture paste, I'm gonna go put that in the sink real quick, because when you use texture paste, you do have to make sure you wipe off your stencils or get them in water really quick, because this could, like, you know, ruin your thing. So let me go put this in the sink real quick and rinse it off just really fast. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Yeah, that's one thing you have to remember with texture paste, is get it off your stencils pretty quick. Either wipe it off or, you know, put it in the sink real quick and rinse it off. Okay, let's try to dry this a little bit. I love that. Be on your guard, stand firm in the face, be courageous, be strong. Wow, that really turned out very clear. I don't know if you can see it on camera, or when I bring it up, you'll see. Love it. We'll let that dry a little. Now I also wanted, gotta be careful, don't touch it, it's still wet. I have this big stencil, and I have these little kind of, this would be so cool too, this stencil. We'll have to do that sometime as well. But it's got these like little, these whatever, you know, like kind of distressed areas. I love it. I'm gonna put some of those on here as well. So let me on the tip. Okay. Now, let's see. I want to put some right here. Now, I'm trying not to touch that because that's still wet. Cool. Let's have some come in right here, off the side here. That's cool. We'll have some coming at the top here. Okay, and then let's get a little bit more. I'm gonna have a little bit coming from the side here. Just for some texture, other texture. Okay, again, wipe off everything with the texture paste. grab a paper towel and wipe this off. And then I'm going to wipe this off as best I can, and then I'm gonna get that in water. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this in the sink real quick too. Okay, wipe my hands off. All wet. Let's move everything. Okay, I'm going to move this now because I don't think I need the paint anymore. So now our last thing is to glue our flower on. Oops, we gotta make sure this is not sticking. So you got the texture up there, over here, over here. We've got the words here. So give me a couple minutes. Let's just make sure we really dry this. That I can let dry on its own, so I'm not going to paste anything over there. I want to really get this dry. And this flower may be a little too big for, let's see what we have here. I'm just going to kind of, let's see what we have here. All of our pieces. Might have be a little too big. And then we'll just start gluing it like that. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down first. Where did my glue stick go, y'all? There it is. So I'm gonna just start gluing, and we'll see how this all comes together. But you can use this torn paper technique for pretty much anything. Like if you wanted to, do houses or make a nature scene, or whatever it may be, do the torn paper look. Mountains, I think I did the torn paper look for some mountains at one point. Okay, we'll just cut that piece off. Okay, now we're gonna kind of fool around with the petals. And I might not use all of these because some of these are real big. We might just, okay, so this is gonna glue here, but I'm gonna have to put these petals behind. Oops. It's okay. We're gonna have it on this way. Trying to figure this out, y'all. Let's do that one. Just kind of seeing, I'm trying to, I know I'm going to cover up some of these words, but that's okay. I'm just testing this out, seeing how I want this to lay. Maybe it's just gonna go like that. Oh, I like that. Okay, that's how it's gonna go. Kind of fool with it. Yeah, it is gonna cover this word up, but that's okay. I know what it says. And I really wanted it to just kind of be in the background anyways. And I'm getting glue all over me, as usual. That's one thing I like about using glue sticks is you can pull things up and play with them and put them back. We need like just one more, I think. It looks a little sad, this little flower. We need like a, there we go. And then I'm just gonna tear this piece up right here at the bottom. Then we have, I'll live for him and rejoice, maybe rejoice the Lord is king and I'll live for him. Right here, maybe. Rejoice the Lord is king. Yeah. Up here. There we go. There's some extra pieces there. Okay, this is gonna have to dry a little bit. But there we go, y'all. Oh, I love it. It's fun playing with this torn paper look. And look, some pieces of torn paper you put together in like a little pattern and voila, you got a flower. Kind of like a flower. It's like those sunflowers or whatever those kind of flowers are. I don't even know. That's cool. Okay, well, here we go. Let's bring it up close. So we've got the background with lots of different layers. And then if you look carefully, it says be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, well, be strong. It's a little covered up, but I kind of like that. I like that it's in the back and that I'm basing my life on scripture. And I'm gonna live for him, rejoice the Lord is king. And again, let me grab, actually, you know what I wanted to do? Okay, I forgot, y'all. I had this black pen. So I was gonna kind of go in and do like this is what Diane did too, and I really liked it. So she went in and kind of did some like squiggly wigglies to kind of make this stand out even more and be more of like, I guess the word would be more whimsical, I guess. So go in and just kind of squiggly wiggly outline your pieces. And just, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of play with it. And even look what that does. It just makes it a little bit more whimsical. Anytime you do like doodling or things of this nature, it brings like a whimsical playfulness to your image. I mean, you've seen artwork like that. Okay, and then we got this little leaf peeking out the back, and then the stem. And then this leaf. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just squiggly wiggly. And actually, I'm gonna go around the little words too. So now I'm gonna take that kind of idea and do squiggly wigglies over the verse over here. And there we go. That's the verse that we're focusing on, or the verses. Put on the new self. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to live for him. He is king. He's Lord over my life. These are the things, you know, that I need to do, is be on guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. I feel like these words really resonate with me right now. That's why I saw that stencil and I was like, wow, yeah, those are some things that I really need right now. And I got to remember that the Lord is king and that I need to live for him. And some days, even when I don't feel like it, you know, I might feel like this kind of droopy little flower and I feel like my life is kind of withering away a little bit, but I can remember that Christ is my life. He has hidden my life with Christ in God, in heaven, and I will appear with him in glory. And even though I'm not living maybe a completely glorious life right now, one day I will. And that's a great promise to me. And I hope it's encouraging to you all as well. So now I'll bring this up close. So now I'm finished. Look at that. Look at how the squiggly lines like really make that pop now. Like I didn't realize like how much that, like the inky made it pop, but the squiggly lines really do now. Love it, love it, love it. And then you've got these little texture pieces. Now, see if you can see when you roll your finger over it, you can feel it. I love that. It's, you know, I love having texture on the page. And then, you know, you've got the collage pieces too. And then the same on this side. I just carried it over here a little bit. And there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for joining me. I love spending time with y'all. Have a very blessed week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.